we've got BoesBoes. Sorry, I'm going to get his name wrong all season. I apologize, Boos, for that. But BoesBoes in the blue on his home map, the La Grande Fosse, against the famous JawolopingChris, playing as Dravidians in red. Now, quickly, the map bans. Chris has banned Mongols for both maps on this set. BoesBoes has banned Koreans for this map and has banned Romans for runestones, which is a bit of a JawolopingChris inside information there. JawolopingChris, famous for his feudal aggression, famous for his fractal cumin play that T90 casted. But in my minds, the thing that JawolopingChris is most famous for is for being the recipient of the blue player 10 crossbow ram micro on a mangonel. So I've got your black bluey, your back bluey. We're here for you. You can visually look at me taking my hat on or off, whichever way you'd like it there, Nessie. So BoesBoes, really good getting the gate open to get the boar in. I really did like that. Scroll speed has been adjusted, so I'm scrolling more than I normally would. And Chris onto a straggler tree, out onto the wood here. We're intriguing to see what Chris is going to pull out here, because he is just such an aggressive player and with an aggressive mindset. And I actually think this map, being that it has 3 boars and a bit of like maybe home protection, it is a map where you can get away with a bit of aggression. So keen to see what Chris has cooked for us. As we see him bringing the sheep to the gate as well. And we'll be doing some boar lures, I imagine, as we see BoesBoes bringing in their second boar. I think definitely got the scroll speed too fast. And the way I like to scroll around. So that's really a bit better. Excellent. And you see BoesBoes, I really like this house. Oh, and that was a delete. Oh, that, high APM stuff here from the Boos. But I would like to see Biscuits, welcome in. We're all wondering what JawolopingChris is cooking. But I really like this, and this is BoesBoes' home map. So house here gives you a wall off to that wood line. You can wall off to that wood line. You can wall off here. As we see, a bit of scout and villager action going on here. And Chris just with the 1 boar in so far. And about to pull the second in. So pretty low idle time. We're looking at about 1500 elo, these players, so quite high level. Not often I'll cast players higher level than myself, but this is a high level division in my eyes, so it would be good to look it up. Biscuits, you're in one of my divisions, I believe, but because I've taken on so many, I can't recall which one it is, but I think you might be in H with Nessie. Tell me how wrong I am. And whoop. Boos, gotta be careful here. Whoop. Drag it in. Garrison, yeah, well done, Boos. Really well done. Excellent, Biscuits. Looking forward to seeing you in action. Keen to see what you've got cooked as well. As we see, the scouts just chilling near each other. Chris guarding the boar. I mean, if I was Boos, I'd be just going for that ball right now. But it's not. Oh, no, it's past minute 4. Lambing is on, ladies and gentlemen. Lading is on. Cool. So you're in the same division as Nessie, but not the same group. Excellent. I'd take that as a win because Nessie's an absolute machine. It's a 3-boar map, but no deer. It's quite an interesting map. And TDI and Biscuits playing each other. Oh, the whole community chat's here. So, loom and up for BoesBoes. That's a nice 20 pop. As the Japanese, you get that cheaper mill. You get the cheaper lumber camps. We see the barracks coming down, getting the mining camp in. I really like how BoesBoes is playing this. And we see Chris is going up a little bit slower. So, Dravidians is an interesting one. Is this just like we know Chris loves infantry. Is he cooking a bit of an infantry play? Also milling the shorefish. And Chris should be clicking up shortly. This is going to be a bit of a hybrid FC. Dravidians also get really cheap siege. Is this going to be a bit of a siege play? Now, I would like this milled. I think that's worth the 100 wood investment. And Chris is up as well, about a minute behind. Is that without loom? No, with loom. And onto gold, but this is great. This doesn't even need a mining camp. That would actually be a waste of resources. So I've got a couple of militia. I like this from Boos. Get out there, get aggressive. Got the perfect amount of res to click men-at-arms instantly. This has been a really clean build. I do like this. And these Japanese men-at-arms are going to attack quite a lot faster. And Boos hopefully has got a chance to take on the scout. Yep. And this is really big. Got a couple of heal hits. Has got the feudal scout. Going to trade HP nicely. And I personally think you go straight for the wood line. Because that can be a major problem. But against Dravidians, wood isn't as big an issue for them. And this is like pretty big. Chris is just running straight back. I do like this. I think this Ville might be in trouble, but the scout, can we keep it open? Oh, very close. But Palisade gates will go down pretty quickly. But BoesBoes just going for a house instead, and we see Market Blacksmith. We got the wood we need. These Dravidian fishermen take 25 food per trip as well, so they actually move through this fish pretty quickly. And I think we're gonna see Dravidian siege, and oh, it's gonna go down surely. Oh, repairing just enough. Just enough. Buys, sells, rares, and bang. Oh no! Disaster! Oh no! Come on, Boos. See it, my friend. And you're in. And you're in. Alright, it's been good aggression from Boos. And what's he been doing behind this? Still finishing off our food in our base. Really lovely wall off. I do like that. We've got our beard axe in. We've got archers out. We're trying to be super aggressive. I really like this. But we're up against an FC here. And there's enough gold. This is going to have to be an FC from home. But I think this is going to be a double siege push. Getting horse collar and starting to drop some farms. And farming eco, very important here. Really good military control as well. It could have been really tempting to just throw everything. But BoesBoes has kept everything alive. And pretty good at keeping the TC ticking for both these players as well. So this has been quite a good start from both our Division D players. Circling the TC, knows there's gold there, and keeping an eye on that wood line, which is really good. But the transition is going to be interesting here because Scorpions will just demolish what we've got here. Boos either needs to commit into scouts, which will need a huge eco upheaval, or Boos is going to have to get to Castle Age and get their own siege out. As we see Alembic, yep, deny, and there we go. Siege Workshop, and oh, it's Boos. That's so good, just sitting outside of range. And Siege Workshop. Yeah. So Chris doing what Chris does best. And Scorpion, look at that. So now he's kind of safe at home. Boos really has to go back home. Take the army back home. Drop the farms. Maybe reinforce. A bit of house walling. Just protect these areas. Make it harder for the Chris push to happen. Stonewalling even could be really nice. Because the Scorpions are going to start to do damage. And the other thing I think you want to start thinking about when you're up against these all-in strategies is, do I just like relocate a wood line out here? Do I start dropping farms out here? The success of Scorpions in particular is that they can hold down a big location, but they don't actually have great mobility. So you know, if you're BoesBoes and you've scouted this gold pile in particular, like let's relocate our base out here. He's done a really good job at getting up to Castle Age, which is and keeping units at home, which is the important thing on the way to Castle Age. But this cheaper Dravidian siege is going to be hard to deal with, and that is 6 Scorpions already, and the army's really going to start to struggle. Chris is housed, and Chris does have to sort his eco out because he's just been all in on gold and a few of these what do they call them again? Straggler trees. Ooh, I think Boo's just struggling on the reaction a little bit here. A tower, actually, from the Japanese wouldn't be too bad. A couple of towers to protect res. Going barracks, so is he going to go full infantry? But the Scorpions... Look, we're 50 seconds from Castle Age, so we've actually done really well. I think if we can get a Siege Workshop up and get some Mangonels out, and possibly even play into some Monks with Redemption, that would be quite nice. But gold is an issue on this map. And this is going to be huge now. This is a stack of Scorpions. TCs don't last long. Let's ungarrison, get them all on gold. Excellent. But looks like Chris is in a pretty commanding position, although he is housed again. Great work from BoesBoes getting that Siege Workshop down right away. So one Mangonel shot can flatten half of these things. But Scorpions, the pass-through damage is just so hard to deal with. Taking some Veal kills. First Veal kills of the game, but we lose a Scorpion to the TC, which is huge. And the Siege Workshop's up now. Can we afford a Mangonel? We just need to sell a little bit of food and we can get one. And one Mangonel could kill all of these Scorpions in one hit. As you see, Mangonel on its way for Chris though. Great reactions from Chris. He's done this before. And the cheaper wood on this siege just makes this push so easy. And Boo's just not able to get that Mangonel out just yet, but TC is going to be in trouble, trust me. I'd kind of like him just to kill this gate rather than pathing through these 2 tiles. As we see the Mango hitting the TC. Just kill the gate. I'm going to go around. And, hey, whilst all that was happening, Boost has dropped a TC out here, which I really like. And there's an archer stationed out there. But it's all the action's going to be here. The Mangonel micro, here we go. Who's paying attention? This is a big hit. Great shot for Boos. Salmon, how you going? Welcome in. It's a great reaction and really good micro. Boost got 2 for 1 there. I really like that. And Chris being, you know, active with his immobile army, and Boost just dropping TCs, working on the eco, you know, great Mango defense at home. If this is the old sneaky salmon, I thought you wouldn't have left Feudal Age yet, from what I've seen of your gameplay. It's a different salmon, I apologise. Great awareness from Boost, just using the Mango to protect this key area. We just need another one. And what I like about Chris is he does add a lot of eco in behind this. I just remember you being like a chaotic flank for Shadow quite often. Maybe that's more in Black Forest. And you definitely don't leave Dark Age and Black Forest anytime soon if you're doing your job properly. Much less chaotic in 1v1s, fair enough. Missed some big shots there. This Mangonel up to 6 kills. There you go. Team games versus 1v1s are different. I should know that. But Chris just doesn't let up. He's got great production. You know. Oh, another big shot potential. Who's paying attention? They've both clicked. Neither are patrolling, and this is big for Chris. That's huge for Chris. And here we go. And the Scorp's walking around here. Ooh. Chris's production just holding him good stead, but here's the third TC. And I don't think Chris is any surprise the way he plays. I think Boos knew exactly what he was in for here and knew that it was going to be early feudal pressure into... Oh, 1 for 1. 1 for none. That's big. That's big for Chris. Still want that gate destroyed. It's still really annoying me. And this is a bit of good value here for Chris as well. The Scorpion range is quite handy. 7 range? Yeah. The legend of JawolopingChris in action. All the Chris fanboys are out to play. I love it. Welcome in, Lars. And, ooh, 1 for 1. Still good for Chris. The pressure's still on the front. I still think Boos is doing an amazing job behind this, but you look, Chris is only 7 eco behind, and Elephant Archers. This is cooking. I love this. Archers are just so tanky. Yeah. No, that's a really good adaptation on the play. As we see Boos forced into a second siege workshop. And fletching is in, but it's just 230 HP. Not that they do much damage to my mangoes, but it's a lot. Chris is a legend from one of our T90s videos. I do remember that video for the blue player Ram versus Siege micro, where he blocked the Mangonel with his crossbow. I'm always going to talk up blue player because he's one of my boys. Give him that chance, but obviously Chris was pretty famous for his fuel aggression and his the way he played humans in that game. So it's a famous division to be casting, and Boos is just, he's trying to do the right things. He's relocating, he's trying to build an eco advantage, but Chris has got 12 eco kills to 0 now. Chris is only 5 kills behind. Chris, despite being on 1 TC, is keeping up and is doing all the right things here, and this is going to be a tough position for Boos to come back from. Although Monk's converting could be handy. Have we seen Redemption come in yet? No. But Elephant Archers, whilst great, they're not going to survive against this much siege. And, ooh, TC getting a couple of kills, which is handy. But, yeah, Chris is just kind of all over him. Well, Lars, you're in luck then. JawolopingChris is going to be highlighted on this channel for all his AOE Leagues games. I'm lucky enough to see them in action. So, I'll be casting all his games on this channel. He plays the game in such a different way, so I really do enjoy it, and this is going to be interesting. I picked it for other players that I know in the league, and Chris just happened to be in it, so if that works out well for me, I'll take it. The call is no bid axe for Chris, and still got 800 wood in the bank, so I think it's okay. That Dravidian Siege bonus and Boos calls the GG, and Chris is up 1-0 in the first game of AOE Leagues Division D. But that is, that's a lot. I think we've seen a bit of Chris over the time through T90 and through his rise through the ranks. He's a lot more than a one-trick pony, but his execution and the way he's developed around his aggression has been really, really impressive. No, he's what, about 1500 now and climbing. So it'd be interesting to see how his development goes. Boos just kind of didn't have an answer apart from Boom. And this is Boos' home map, so he was cooking on this. And we know Chris loves a bit of runestone action. 2k in no time. That's it. So let's get into game 2, where, just to remind everyone that's joined in a little bit late, we saw Chris has banned Mongols for both maps. Boost banned Koreans for game 1 and Romans for game 2. So, well, he built 2 lumber camps in that game, which was pretty impressive. So here we go, game 2. JawolopingChris versus BoesBoes, still in the red and blue, and we see Burmese into Cumans, and wow, he's famous for his Cumans, isn't he? On his home map, Runestones. Now, it's interesting, the player, which one is TDI? Kados, they could all be TDI, but I think Chris has got more TDI in him than BoesBoes. Although Chris is kind of like old TDI and BoesBoes is new TDI with ego. Thanks, AGM. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Rams go. Here we go. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Runestones because I think it's an underrated map, and so does Chris. I think it's just better Arabia because it's more wallable. Your deer spawn so close. The access to like making the game easier for a noob like myself is great. Shut up, Nessie. I want them. I want them. Chris is possibly the most aggressive. I mean, he's definitely in like the mid elo ranks. He's like our red Phosphorus, right? Like he just plays a different meta. He plays with aggressive strategies, but he's not a one-dimensional one-trick pony. He's got lots of tricks in his bag. So keen to see what he has to pull out. But I think we know what's going on here. Salmon. MAA into, yeah, man. If you're not doing men-at-arms into more men-at-arms, then what's the point? Oh, Salmon and Kados in chat together. If you like what Kados brings with Men-at-Arms, this is a shameless plug. I have a YouTube channel dedicated to Kados cooking in the kitchen with Men-at-Arm builds. And doing a lot of infantry stuff. So go check out Kados. He's an absolute weapon. As you see, Chris pushing in his deer. You know, this is going to be fast up, and I think we're going to see Siege Workshop and Archery Rangers in the face. And Burmese is an interesting pick. I wonder if Boos is trying to cook like a fast castle to counteract this. I think we'll find out more as time goes, but I wonder if this is going to be like, let's go FC a Rambai. As we see Loom coming in for Chris, but I don't think he was house, so obviously concerned about something there. Kados, did you do a douche? Oh, you think Boost is going for the douche? Or JawolopingChris going for the second TC douche? Could be. We're doing a little community tournament where we saw a human player do a double douche with both their TCs in Feudal Age. It was quite interesting. The first TC did miss by 1 tile though, which was quite a letdown. You take one from either player. I hope so. I kind of hope we see both players delete their TCs and do the just passing and like walk past each other and just be like, oh fuck, like that Umbrella Academy meme. That would be pretty fun. But the Cooker and me wants to see this be fast castle around by into the standard JawolopingChris aggression. As we see both players getting towards that point where they click up. Chris has done a good job of getting all the meat under the TC. We see the second building coming down. Bobby, how you going? I am casting Division D and Division H because I do have a life, and I'm actually playing in Division F, so I should put some effort into that. But I'm definitely going to cast all of Division D and H. Division H will be on Wednesday, Nessie. Sorry, it's all going to be Division D today. Just because my brain works better that way. Brisbane. Do you think this is a Brisbane accent? Rip. Never been so insulted. As we see JawolopingChris go up. But Nessie, I'm dedicating a whole day of streaming just to you because you have 2 sets. So, how about that? And Boost has gone up on 22 pop. Loom. So I do wonder. There's no stone, so I don't think this is a fast castle. I think this is just a slower uptime to build more resin as we see the vills coming forward for Chris. So Chris is on. Boost is like, hey, I see you there. I see you there. Apart from you and good old Matty Nessie, I'm pretty parochial for Perth. 2 lumber camps for Chris again. Here we go. Chris with the 2 lumber camp play, and we see Militia again. And under the TC, is there going to be a bit of a sheepscapade? Oh no, killed his own sheep. Chris getting more value than he bargained for. And Guy getting a bit of action down there, Chris. That can help Boost a little bit. I do want to see Boost kind of drag this out as long as he can. Militia, and again, like Boost has got a really clean build for Men-at-Arms. As we see, archery range coming down for Chris. But Boost is just a little bit slower up. I wonder if he can deny this. Bit too late now. I love that Chris sends 4 villagers. It just really makes it hard to push it back. But coming in for the fight early. Men-at-Arm coming in, yeah, Boost has to pull back. You can't fight that just yet. Traded a bit too much HP probably. As we see archers on their way as well. And Boost just still getting the odd scouting in. And pushing back the Men-at-Arms really well here. Loses 1 vill, but still has 3 vills to put pressure down. I think we see a forward tower at some point normally, but Blacksmith and Fletching is probably the right call. I do like how Chris just builds up his base so he doesn't have to look back as ego. But there's actually relatively nice macro behind this. Probably need a little bit more on food to pump that TC. But we're going to afford Fletching. That's going to be in pretty quick, I imagine. And again, Boost just looking to do the right things. Build up eco, gets bit axe, starts dropping farms. Is building skirms. As we see Fletching coming in. I'd maybe like to see a preemptive tower somewhere just to protect key resources, like here. And there's the forward tower. Now it's only 1, because we're not on stone. So just trying to deny a bit of farms, and the counter tower comes in. And I really like this for Chris, seeing this reaction, because I don't actually think this tower does much for him. Like, getting this tower does a lot. But Boost does quite well here. Loses 1 vill, but manages to pick off a few archers, and should be able to pick off all the archers, but the tower does go up. And well done by Chris to react and get the archers in there, actually. That was really, really well done. Elo's about 1500 Kados. And here it is. Oh, Boost. Boost ain't here to fuck around. Or as we say in Australia, he ain't here to fornicate with arachnids. But that's the beauty of having archers, is they can just jump out and become a problem. And rams are going to be coming through shortly. So this is huge aggression from Chris. Boost just needs to hold his cool. This is a lot of pressure and this is immense. But I believe in Boost. I know he's a very talented player. Picks up an archer there, which is good. And is actually doing well with the tower war. So should win the tower war. Can even jump all his vills out and repair quickly. But this is the problem. And sees the ramp. Getting the repairs. And oh, just 2 low HP vills. Just get sniped immediately. And you can get in behind this and repair now. It's just huge aggression. Yeah, actually pulling back for the repair. I really like that. Really think that was quite a smart play. And we've got 9 archers on the field. But again, Chris adds eco quite nicely here. Although all food being berries, probably start to see a little bit of a transition if we could. But thanks to his eco kills, has got in front of Boost in terms of vills. And unfortunately for Boost, it's not looking good. These feudal rams are just so hard to push, and the addition of archers to them is just really, really intelligent. So Chris just doing Chris things, and I think we'll see this house go down, and then probably a big push for the TC. And you kind of almost can't commit to Castle Age here because of the ram presence. And this, oh, I see the value of the tower now. You can't punch down the rams. Yeah, the tower doesn't deny resources, it protects the ram push. Which is actually like, that's the TC gone. Oh, that's smart. I really like that. Take everything back and boost with the GG. Well played, yeah. And Chris calls, yeah, like, that was a lightning fast first set. Chris just coming all aggression. But GG to both players. I mean, I've got a couple of higher elo players in the chat, so I might just quickly talk through their thoughts on how to push it back, and then my thoughts. But Kados saying if you just send your men-at-arms to the base and defend with Skirm Archer, I guess that works to a point until this tower's down, right? Until the towers and rams come out, that works well. But I suppose if you can deny gold, that really, really hurts this strategy. And you can see Chris hasn't got much back at home in terms of walls or defense. Nothing can stop Chris. That's probably a fair point. I wonder how maybe going off Kados and saying men-at-arms to push it home. How well would a full feudal scout defense go? And I'm talking like bloodlines, armor, forging, 8 to 10 scouts, full commitment to feudal. Would we be able to then dive the archers, dive the siege, dive the tower? The counter tower cost a bit too much, I think. Yeah, the counter tower is just a bit of a panic move for Boost there. But look, this is set 1, and we all know JawolopingChris. There's 5 more sets, and I'm so curious to see what strategies people come up with to counter this play, because it's so unique and interesting, and I really enjoy it. So I'm really looking forward to seeing more of Chris, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more of how people are going to try and counter it as well. So great first set to start off Division D. Chris actually is, I'm just going to quickly check. So this is the 5th and 6th seed for the ELO, for the division, and the 12th and 13th seed all are, I've got my numbers wrong here. I think it's 10th and 11th seed all up. So there's, I'm gonna fix my spreadsheet now. Here I go doing work and then getting it all wrong anyway. So Chris taking the early points, and that's big for him, and really keen to see what happens. Salmon, thanks for the follow.